Hi everyone. I'm Dutchess. This is my channel, Dutchess Divinity, and we do lots of stuff here, but I'm doing a daily read because I feel like it. So here's my cat. She wants to say hi. Say hi, Corny, the little cutie. And yeah, we're live, so I'm just waiting for people to come in. Hi, cat. Waiting for the chat to catch up. My hair looks crazy. I need to brush it and wash it. Hey, Danica. Hi, Mariana. Hi, Anne. Hi, Baby Pico. Good morning, guys. Your cat says hi back. Good. Hi, Valeria. Hello. Oh, the chat is going crazy now. Hello. Hi, everybody. I enjoy your videos. You're super funny. Thanks. I try to be. Whoa, all right. The chat just hopped up from like, it was literally still saying 0. Please like it, guys, so other people get notified. We got 22 people in here, but only 4 likes. So please like. Good morning, Brianna. Sorry, I don't know why I just called you Brianna. Good morning, Maria. Also, your email, that about the ocean, it was so funny you sent that to me because I literally did that while I was in South Carolina for the first time. I've never done that before. I always do something with that situation, like you were saying. Like, I usually burn, like, with fire as spell work for that. But I did the same thing with the ocean while I was away because I obviously couldn't have a fire while I was there. And it felt really powerful, like really, really powerful. And I look forward to doing it in the future. Hi, Lizzie. Happy Friday. Yeah, guys, happy Friday. I'm excited. I might be going to see live music later. If not, though, I'm cool with it. I got a lot of work to do, but I feel so much better today than I have in days. I feel, just better. I got to spend the night with my sister and her fiance last night, and it was like really fun. And even though I came home and I was like really existential and upset and like pissed off about like everything because I just don't want her to leave, it was still a nice time. So happy you're doing a live. I can't wait to meet everyone in the Zoom class, right? Isn't that going to be crazy? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the list of stuff done today, like the list of questions for the class. Also, Lizzie, I'm going to email you back today, but that's totally fine for you to join the other spell. I don't mind at all. I think I just said the class because, I don't know, I think I just assumed you'd want to take the class. But you can do the other spell. That's totally fine, too. It's kind of like a class anyway, because that will also be Zoom. And I think we have 1 person signed up for it so far. Yeah, I'm going to post about it today. I'll post everything on the community page. Oh my god, so my friend just texted me, so I had a dream last night that we were, like, in this, like, creepy, like, psych ward-like place, but it was really run down and weird, and they, like, wouldn't let us leave, and there were all these children, and we were just, like, collecting children and saving them, and then we tried to run away, and we were, like, running through the streets, and they were, like, chasing us. I have so many dreams about saving children. It's crazy. And she just texted me and was like, girl, I've been having dreams about saving children all week. Like, that's mad weird. And then I woke up really grumpy too because it was like I felt like I was in like some alternate creepy dimension where like that kind of stuff is actually happening, like some alternate timeline. I mean, I know it's actually happening now, but it was like happening out in the open, like the like literally holding people hostage and stuff, like, ooh, corn. So I always wake up like grumpy. Yo, my friend just texted me. She's like, we have to be doing that in other timelines. Literally, big brain, big brain. That's crazy. Thank you. I hope you have an awesome weekend too. I just got done saging my room and you pop up. So happy to be here, Duchess. Yay. Hey, I am good, thank you. How are you? I dreamt of my sister, her boyfriend, and my grandma dying, and the dead grandma was alive. It was horrible and traumatizing. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. That sounds like spiritual attack. You should put like a black crystal under your bed or under your pillow. Yeah, I've had dreams like that too. I constantly have dreams like that. I really do think I call it missions. I say I'm like on missions. I have them with my twin too. I think I've chosen not to remember most of those though, because when I do remember them, they're like really intense and it's like really just kind of upsetting. So I think I choose not to remember most of them, but when I do remember them with my twin, they're always like really intense. But I know we're doing it all the time. I had a dream once about saving children and I brought them to you. You kept us safe before we made our next move. That's wild, Teresa, because I literally have dreams like that all the time. This is going to sound really weird, but I had a dream one time where I was in this like really creepy dystopian reality and it was like the purge and everything was like dilapidated and run down and there were all these children just being like trafficked and stuff. And I was like collecting them and and they were like bombing us. It was really fucked up. And then when I was like on the roof, I had all these children with me. And like I said, this is gonna sound weird, but it was the truth. All of a sudden, Donald Trump came like strutting down this like ramp that while we were being bombed, and he had like 20 little happy little kids following behind him and they had this like protection shield around them and he was like, follow me, and I was like, what? And then but I had no choice. I was being bombed, so I'm like, all right. So I grab all these kids in my arms, some are on my back, and I'm like running, and we were in this like shield of protection. It was crazy. I've had some crazy fucking dreams. Some people do believe that the reason that he was so demonized, though, was because he actually was doing work against the trafficking. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know if you can really trust any rich person. There's a lot of things I felt let down about in his presidency. There's some things that I felt like he did a good job, some things I felt like he did a really bad job, and then other things that's like, wow, why the fuck would you ever say or do that, you know? But there were a lot of people who were saying that he was fighting against the trafficking, and even like the idea of the wall at the border, that was the idea behind it. It just got completely misconstrued, and I think that became very obvious when the new administration came in, obliterated the whole, process and just let anybody come in willy-nilly. I think it became very apparent just how much trafficking was going on down there when there isn't regulations. And maybe the idea of opening the border was positive, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe they knew exactly what they were doing. You know what I mean? So, and it's the same thing about him. I don't know any of these people personally, and I never will. So I won't know what their side is, I guess, until we finally get the truth, if and ever we get the truth, But that was my dream anyway. So he helped me out at least that one time. Yeah, we have no idea what's actually happening behind the scenes of politics. Exactly. Good morning, Nikki. Good to see you again, and thank you for going live. I hope you're doing well. Thanks, I am doing well. I'm feeling better. I used to have dreams like that, being in a war, like in Germany somewhere, but I'm dark-skinned, so to me it reminded me of being in a war. It was clear, so that was a past life flashback. Yeah, that sounds like a past life. I have that in my dreams too, like flashes of past lives. I went under hypnosis, saw the fall of Atlantis, and then saw it in my dreams like several other times after my hypnosis. And basically what happened was like right before everything fell, there were ships that came in. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that or channeled that before, but right before Atlantis fell, there were all these like dark clouds and dark ships that loomed over Atlantis. And I don't know if it was warships. This is going to activate some of your DNA, but I don't know if it was like warships, or I don't know if it was like, because they say Atlantis fell because people were getting too greedy with power. I don't know if that was like the Galactic Federation coming in and being like, your reign of terror is done. and then they destroyed it. Like, I have no idea, but I know for a fact, because I was an Arcturian who lived in the constellation of Sirius, but I had an apprentice who's actually my friend's son in this life. He was my apprentice, and we were working at Atlantis, and he was a hybrid. He was a part of the hybrid program. He was Essassani, so he was part gray and he was part human. And I had this skill, I'm getting chills. I had this skill that nobody else had, like, spanning over all these different, like, galaxies. Like, I could manipulate energy and matter, almost like, you know, in The Incredibles, how Violet can make those orbs? It was like that, but then I also could create these grids and heal people with it, and I could also create potions with it. So he had this skill, my friend's son had this skill, and it was like he's like the only one in the galaxy, along with me being the only one in the galaxy. And so he was my apprentice, and I was teaching him how to hone in on his skills. And so when Atlantis was falling, we were able to put this orb around us, and we could make the orbs like as big as we could, but we couldn't protect all of Atlantis. So we were literally just like in this protective shield, watching everything like crash and burn, and all these beings like explode and die. It was like really messed up. And then the next scene I clipped to in my hypnosis, he's like getting on a ship, and he's going up with the Galactic Federation on a ship. And I like have to say goodbye. And as an Arcturian, like, he taught me how to feel, because I didn't have feelings or emotions. I didn't really care about anything. Like, not in a bad way. I didn't care about stuff, because I wasn't wired for it. I was a man, by the way. And he I felt pride for the first time. Like, I felt proud of him in the hypnosis. And then also I felt sad, like, watching him leave. And I had never felt these emotions before. And it was like I taught him how to use his skills, and he taught me how to understand certain emotional frequencies. And yeah, I should see if I can upload that, because I'm pretty sure I have it saved. I lost one of my hypnosis, but I think I have that one saved. I'm reading The Convulsed Universe by Dolores Cannon, and I'm shocked how awful some of the Atlantis people were. Yeah, honestly, I haven't tapped too much into that. Like I said, I just had that hypnosis, and then it shows up in my dreams. But maybe I should read that, because I also had a vision of us, like, trying to stop the people. Like I had a vision of myself in this room with, like, this big crystal, and it was like the whole room was kind of shaking and going haywire, and I was like, you need to stop this, like, shut it down. And they weren't listening to any of us. They were like, more power. And then also I've done past life regressions for clients who have also been a part of Atlantis. All different kinds of Atlanteans I have done past life hypnosis for, like, or past life reading, but there's certain ones that I have also read for that were also in that control room, like, and they were in that control room too, being like, you need to stop, you need to shut this down. And a lot of those people, they feel a lot of dread around making sure that things don't go south right now, because they weren't able to stop it from going bad in the past, basically. Atlantis came up in your meditation. That's wild. I love when you talk about your past lives. Thanks. For real, could probably get a lot of money for those 35,000 missing children, all at the border, pure evil. I agree. How much do you... Yo, it's crazy to me that... It's just crazy to me that people are finally starting to see it, because I've been talking about this for years and years, but it's like finally, like, Fox News is talking about... I saw a really fucked up article that this kid, like, one child had like over 100 people's DNA on them or something like that. Like, it's just so unacceptable, and I've been screaming about how unacceptable it is for so many years that I can't even involve myself in it anymore, because it's too frustrating. It's like banging my face against a brick wall and expecting something good to happen. Like, so I just kind of stay out of it at this point. but clearly I'm doing the work in my dreams. Clearly I'm saving people. I go to places like that all the time. Actually, I've even gone to places that are like satanic ritual abuse places, and y'all know I don't believe that what they do is actually Satanism. It's a false cult-like fake system. It's not real Satanism. Real Satanism is very empowering, and you harm none, right? And I have a whole video on that if you're interested in watching the video on that. But just to say it in a way that people will understand, it was like ritual. I go to these centers in my dreams that are like multiple layered houses, and in each of the layers of the house there's like torture and abuse happening, and I have to go through and I have to like collect as many souls as I can. And basically what I think that is, because like my soul used to get trapped in places like that all the time when I was with my abusive ex, and I was like really mentally like struggling. My soul would I would have night terrors of being SA'd. I'd have night terrors of being murdered. I'd have night terrors of being beat up, of my family members being murdered. Like, and I'd always be in these like concentration camp like dystopian places, and I wouldn't be able to get out. And some of the times they would be wearing like ritual robes or doing like different kind of like abuse and rituals and stuff. And so that used to happen to me. I would scream in my sleep. I would have panic attacks in my sleep. I would bite my blankets because in my dreams someone would be on top of me and I'd be like biting, trying to get them off. I beat the shit out of my sister one time when we were sleeping next to each other for Thanksgiving by accident. I kicked the shit out of her and beat her up, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Because I was constantly, my soul was constantly getting trapped in these places. And now that I'm like in a space in my journey where I can understand this and like move past it and like gain control over it, now I'm the one like saving souls. And I don't know if Sasha's in here, but Sasha, there was one time where I was at the place and I was rescuing my sister because my sister was stuck in some sort of like creepy ritual, and then I rescued her and like 3 or 4 other people. And when I came out, Sasha, you were there. You had a car and you had built, we were in the woods and there was like nowhere to go, and you had built this like log path to drive us through the woods to get us out. So like you were waiting, your soul was waiting to help me get the other souls and get them out. Oh, Sasha, you are here. Wow, really resonating with me. Perfect. Yeah, so that happened like literally. It was like a fucking 5-level torture house. Like they're like trap houses but on crack. You know, even more crack. But yeah, that's what they're like. They're like these like multi-level trap houses where it's just degeneracy and torture. And I have to go in and I have to save all these people. It's crazy. So it's also crazy that someone else on this live said you had a dream about saving children and then you went and brought them to me to make sure that nothing bad happened. Because I used to get, before when I was like in a really low vibration and my life was very terrible, I was the one getting stuck in those concentration camps, and it was horrifying because you never get a good night's sleep. They just torture your soul. There's actually... I met a girl when I did like the community thing and like the thing in my community, and she gets like cooked in her sleep. Like she would get put in this like pot and she could like feel the pot boiling on her, and she's like, you're not supposed to be able to feel your dreams. And I'm like, because they're not dreams, you know? They're not. Yes, oh my god, I keep thinking about that and having flashes of that night. I've seen where I live and brought you back, and we were all discussing plans for hunting and getting more people out. Yeah, that was crazy. I've never, like, I think that was one of the first times my sister got stuck and I had to go get her. Wow, I've had those dreams too. What is that? And sewing people in capes and killing people. Yeah, so like the capes, like the cloaks, the capes, you know, like the typical stuff that you'd see at like Bohemian Grove. If you don't know what that is, I'm not saying Alex Jones is a like really... Listen, Alex Jones is who he is, and we need to take everything that he says with a grain of salt. But I will say that he did do the investigatory work, and he went and he creeped on Bohemian Grove, and that's why he's been exiled from everything, because he was one of the first reporters to catch them in their ritualistic child trafficking essay and murder. And they caught them. Like, he caught it on tape. And that's one of the reasons why he's been, you know, written off. And I'm not saying he's perfectly sane, because he's not. And I'm also not saying I agree with everything he says, because I don't. I really, really don't, you know? But I do think that he's on to a lot. And I think that he's seen some things. And I also think, too, that he's a pretty stand-up guy when it comes to, like, lately, I feel like he's been a bit more rational, because if you know me, you know I really like Blair White. I just really like her. I think she's great. And I agree with a lot of her views. Like I said, I don't agree with, like, everything, but I agree with a lot of the things that she talks about, and I support her, and I like her personality. And some, like, ultra Christian came on to Alex Jones's call center and was like, hey, like, how are you friends with Blair White? Like, she's really a man, blah, blah, blah. And then he was just, like, so kind and was like, she's my friend. She's a nice person. She's not hurting anybody. And, you know, I don't care if she's trans. Like, she's a good person. And I felt like that was, like, huge. Like, it really spoke to his integrity and his character, because a lot of his audience are extremists, and it was like he didn't care about that. He just cared about, like, supporting his friend, and I just think that's a real one. And like I said, I definitely don't agree with everything he says, and I definitely don't think he's, like, always a sound voice of reason at all, and I hear he's an alcoholic. But at the end of the day, he did go and he did capture that footage of Bohemian Grove when no one else did. That motherfucker, if it would be anyone, it would be Alex Jones. Like, are you kidding? You know what I'm saying? Like, he would break in there. Wow, most definitely have had dreams saving women. And I remember this lady was keeping people capsulated in these capsules in a basement. And she said to me, starting to scream, you won't be able to stop us. I know, they hate us. I had a dream I was giving birth to a baby boy. It was so real and calm. That's beautiful. Also, my friend's kids, we connect in the astrals, and I was protecting her too, but it was crazy because I had never met her kid before that. A lot of interesting synchronicities came up. That's powerful. The freaking frogs. No, for real. Basically, what he was trying to say about that is, like, that the water's bad. The water's tainted. He just said it like a crazy person, because he's kind of a crazy person. But he was just saying, like, tap water shit, you know, which is true. That is true. Is it turning the frogs gay? I don't know, but probably not. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't put anything past anything at this point. Like if the government came out and were like, for real, like, your tap water turns you gay, I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, okay, add it to the list of things that don't make sense. Yes, and our water is being poisoned. Exactly. Exactly. He was actually right about the frogs. Oki Weird Stories has a video and an interview with the scientists who whistle blew that information. The pesticides they're using changed the sex of the frogs. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff he was actually right about, and I think that's why they so desperately want to put him in jail and lock him away. Yeah, I think when you are aware of how evil the world is, and let's not forget he witnessed it firsthand at Bohemian Grove, like, he watched it with his own eyes, I think that's gonna make you crazy. Like, if you've been talking about this since the 80s and nobody's listening, and you witnessed it with your own eyeballs and everybody just thinks that you're crazy, like, I can see why you'd lose your fucking mind, because you're just trying to tell the world, like, everything's evil, everything's fucked up, and nobody's listening since the 80s. Like, let's be real. It can change a person for sure and drive you nuts. Exactly. He was struggling with a brain injury and depression at that time in real life. That's crazy. I wonder why so many of us are having dreams about dystopian landscapes. I think it's because it's alternate timelines, and I think it's other dimensions, and I think that when our soul, because if we're in a spiritual war, right, we never really get any time off. So if you never really feel rested when you wake up, or you have a hard time waking up, it's because your soul is literally out fighting a spiritual war in the astral realms. And so I believe that while we're out fighting this war, I believe we're genuinely saving souls from these alternate timelines and dystopian realities that don't actually exist in our dimension. They might exist in dimensions outside of ours, or they might be possible future dimensions that we're kind of like putting the kibosh on and making sure it doesn't happen. So I don't believe it's like that's what's coming for the future. I believe those are like holding grounds for light warrior souls. Because if you're out fighting and battling for the light, while you're sleeping, like if your soul is out fighting and battling for the light while your body sleeps, how convenient would it be to have all these little traps, all these little concentration camp traps to trap your soul so that you can no longer fight in the light battle, and then they feed off of fear, pain, and hatred, right? So if they can capture your soul while you're battling, put you in these concentration camps, and then torture the shit out of you, that's taking all that light energy that would be going towards the light, and it's forcing it into a state of fear and pain to put it towards the dark. So I feel like they are astral holding camps, and I feel like it's my job to get people's souls out of these astral holding camps so that they can come back, rest, refuel, and get back out there to fight. Think about it. It's like when you take prisoners of war in a regular war. That's how I look at it. And I think they're dystopian and disgusting realityscapes because I think that the 1% and the negative overlords that, rule everything and just are the most disgusting, repulsive, fucked up energies you've ever experienced in your life. I just think it's a reflection of their disgusting energy. And I think and I also think dystopian realityscapes elicit fear, right? It can elicit a lot of fear out of you. So I think that's why it's like that. That's just my opinion. Such insane chills right now. Glad it's resonating. I have saved a bunch of children of various ages. I end up in a workshop filled with Barbie, huge plastic dolls that were souls of children. I broke the plastic and told them how to teleport away. That's insane. That just gave me chills. That's wild. That's so creepy. That's like that movie, The House of Wax. This makes sense for me. I've been fighting in the dream realm and feeling tired when I wake up, but I still have the feeling that I have to keep doing it. Exactly. Chills. I'm glad this is resonating for people. I definitely been in those dystopian hellscapes in the astral. They are really strange. Yeah, they're upsetting. The one that imprisoned them found out and started chasing me. After that, he appeared in my dreams and made my dreams into nightmares. See, that's what I'm saying. That's not a dream. That's a spirit. All right, this is going to sound mad weird, but one time I was in one of the hellscapes and I was at like an airport and there were these agents. So when you're in your dreams, you'll notice that there are these certain agents that like come out and look for you and try to like find your light. So I was like in this big airport, and this is going to sound really weird, but who is it? It's not Lil Peep. It's the rapper that rapped with Kanye and did the "You're such a fucking hoe, I love it." I don't remember his name, but he was there and he had this like space gun. And this is what I'm talking about, how like celebrities are not who you think they are. They're literally just a product of their handlers. And this is what I mean when I say they sold their soul. Like they sold their soul to the side of evil. And now they don't have any choice but to work for the side of evil. Lil Pump. Okay, thank you. So Lil Pump was there, and he was there with like 2 other rappers, I think. And if you ask me, I think rappers are the most fucked up evil of them all. And you can just hear that in their music, the way they talk about women, the way they talk about people in general. I went to one rap concert, almost got roofied, and then they were flashing a bunch of upside down crosses and dead bodies on the screen. I got so sick. I felt like I was going to pass out because I did not consent to all these giant images of dead bodies flashing at me like a strobe light for the entire show. Was Lil Uzi Vert. Lucifer, right? Le Uzi Vert, Le Uzi Vert, Le Uzi Vert, Lucifer. Like, they say if you say it 3 times fast, it's literally just Lucifer. And I don't have anything against Lucifer. He's, like, but he can, that energy can be used in the wrong way. So I went to that show. I almost got roofied, but I poured out my drink because I could feel the powder on the rim on my lips. So I immediately poured it out. These 4 guys stalked me for the rest of the night, trying to see if to do God knows what to me, human traffic me, take me down to their basement. I have no fucking idea. But they tried to roofie me. And then I just got so sick because the energy was so evil. And after that, I stopped listening to rap. And even, like, one time when I was tripping on acid, like, rap made me feel like I wanted to die. Like, that energy, I just feel like there are death beats in rap, like how I talked about with the Travis Scott concert, how people were saying the music that they were playing was making them really angry and hostile, and it was making people fight. Just like there are good binaural beats, there are also bad binaural beats, and Spirit has called those death beats to me, and I think there are death beats coursing through rap music, because it glorifies death and evil and everything like that. So anyway, I was in this big airport and the agents caught sight of me. Like, they had these, like, space guns and they were, like, talking in a group of 3, like a triangle of 3. And then they saw me and then they instantly started chasing me. So I started, like, flying away because I can always fly in my dreams. And they were, like, chasing me and, like, shooting at me. And I was looking, I couldn't find my twin. Like, I was, like, calling my twin over the intercom. And I was like, please, like, I have to find you. And then I saw him, and it was like I couldn't get to him before I woke up. It was, like, fucked up. But the agents, they're always agents, and I've just gotten so much, like, stronger now. I'm not even scared of these agents. I just will, like, beat the shit out of them or kill them. You look gorgeous. Love those glasses on you. Thank you. That's very nice. Ugh, that's, like, brainwashing. Exactly. Why do you think people were so angsty when, like, you cannot tell me that Travis Scott thing wasn't a literal ritual. We already talked about it. I'm pretty sure there's a video up. I turned off the comments because people were being so mean when I was, like, talking about it. Like, all these people not from my channel were like, this girl has the worst energy I've ever seen in my life. Who would ever take advice from her? She's so gross, this and that. So I, like, turned the comments off at least. I might have hit it as well. I don't know, because, like, it was not, like, it was all these, like, rap people who support rap, like, coming on the video to, like, tell me how much they hated me just for talking about what people witnessed at the Travis Scott travesty, let's call it that. But yeah, there was a lot of human trafficking. People said the floor opened up and that's why the crowd imploded on each other, because they were just, it was, if you ask me, it was one big death ritual to open up a negative portal. And it was also an adrenochrome harvesting event where they just opened up the floor, a bunch of people fell in, they took all these bodies and then harvested them for adrenochrome. Because if you think about it, if you keep up with this kind of stuff, there was a lack of adrenochrome because when everything was happening with COVID, there was less trafficking because the entire globe was shut down. So because of that, these evil people were not able to get their hands on adrenochrome, which is their life force energy at this point, because they're so old and they're so evil that they can't live without it. And if you don't know what adrenochrome is, it's literally when you torture usually a child so bad that it creates this chemical in their brain called adrenochrome, and then they extract it directly from the pineal gland and drink the blood. That's why people say, oh, these people, they're evil vampires. Yeah, because they are. Maybe they don't have fangs, but they are literally extracting blood out of kids' pineal glands. And your pineal gland is your third eye. And Mark Zuckerberg himself, the fucking AI bot with the giant ass, like, I hate that picture of him on a surfboard with his fucking giant ass, like, no eyebrows. That man, you can't find it anymore, but you used to be able to find videos of him being like, oh, I remember when I was human, or like, back when I was human. Like, you can't tell me that guy is not a fucking AI bot with his fucking Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue in the background of his fake ass living room. Like, you cannot tell me that guy is human. He's just not. And he's been quoted saying, I do enjoy the effects of adrenochrome, but the process of extracting it looks very uncomfortable for the person it's extracted from. Like, The giant ass. No, for real, Mariana, you know what I'm talking about. When that dumbass is on a surfboard and he's got the biggest fucking ass I've ever seen. I'm like, you ugly, masquerading human motherfucker. Like, what are you? What are you? Not for real, he's not human with all that junk in the truck. Neither are the Kardashians, bitch. I think their souls have been compromised. You can't tell me those are the same humans that started out. Everybody's all like, oh, it's plastic surgery. Or is it cloning? Or are they AI? Are they not even real at this point? I don't know. They're the biggest fucking in-your-face prostitutes that exist. They're literally... It's unbelievable. I could go on and on. But yeah, anyway, so there was a shortage of adrenochrome. So that was an adrenochrome harvesting event. It created a black portal because all these good portals were being activated all over the globe. So it created this really negative portal. And then it was also a ritual. Like, I don't even know if you can still find videos of it, but he was like on this pedestal, like singing over people while they were dying. And he was like looking at them like while they're like literally passed out dying. And it's just like, that was horrifying. I just can't believe that everything just got brushed over for that. And even his apology, guys, hand over one eye. Oh, I can't believe this happened. I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much. And if you're wondering, the one eye thing is because they steal our symbols. They steal our ancient Kemetic symbols. Like, the ancient Kemetic symbols, ancient Egyptian symbols are not inherently evil. They use those symbols against us because they're powerful. So when you see them doing the one eye thing, that's because they're either connecting to the eye of Heru, the eye of Horus, or the eye of Ra. And so they're harnessing one or the other of those energies because they're very powerful energies. They're just harnessing them with a very evil intention. That's why I have literally dedicated my life to taking back the symbols that everyone is scared of. My entire body is tatted in these like Kemetic symbols of the age of Aquarius, the age of knowledge. We're stepping into it. All these people, I am confident that these people will either die off because they are such a low evil vibration that they cannot live in the higher frequencies of the new earth, or they will be held accountable for their crimes against humanity and killed in that way because everything that they've done is just so punishable by death. So I'm fully confident. Why do you think they're pushing the agenda for the year 2030? That's not going to happen. By the year 2030, we will have destroyed them, okay? They're so desperate to create this dystopian reality for the year 2030, Agenda 2030. If you haven't heard of it, go look it up. It'll blow your fucking mind. By 2030, they're done. They're done for, man. They're done. They're already done. They're like a parasite that won't die. His music sucks too. No, for real. He's not even talented. What does extracting do for one drinking the blood? So, very good question. So what this does is it's technically like the fountain of youth. So I don't know if you remember during the pandemic, it's crazy that everyone just wants to act like the pandemic never happened. Like, that really bothers me that everyone's just like on with their life and like we didn't get any good explanations. We didn't get any good closure. They're just like pretending like it never happened. But it's supposedly like the fountain of youth. So when you drink this blood, it's okay. If you think of, they're reminding me, it's in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So when he's like in the hotel room, he takes adrenochrome and the whole room turns red and he gets super high. So the adrenochrome gets you really fucking high, and then it's also the fountain of youth. So when you drink it, you instantly age regress, like your cells are restored, and you look really young. So if you remember during the pandemic when none of these celebrities could get adrenochrome and they were all looking so old, it was like overnight they got really old because there was such a low availability of adrenochrome that it was only going to high political figures. And so the celebrities were on like the lowest list of like getting that kind of shit. So they were all looking terrible. Like Madonna, for one, looked like she still looks like fucking Jigsaw from Saw. Yeah, I don't think she ever really bounced back from the lack of adrenochrome, but I've heard she's one of the most evil gutter prostitutes of the industry. And like she's evil, like evil to the core. And she uses Lilith in an evil energy. And that's another thing I've spent my life doing, is employing spirits that no longer want to work for evil. So if you think of it, if a genie is in a bottle and it's forced to like work for you, right? That's basically what they do. They get these spirits in a position where they're forced to work for them and they have no choice. So now the spirits, whether it's in their integrity or not, they are working for the side of evil. And so that's why I've spent so much of my life pouring time and energy into working with spirits that may or may not have been compromised, that no longer want to be a part of the darkness. And so, yeah, so basically the adrenochrome, it gets you super high, it's the fountain of youth, and then you get addicted to it. It's like a drug, so you get addicted to it eventually. Yeah. The law of one, we are all one. How we make sure love and light wins. It's already won, in fact. So send them all love. I hate that. Excuse me. It's so hard to send them love. I do that, though. If they're attacking me and I can't get a spirit to, like, stop attacking me, I'll just open my arms and I'll be like, I love you, and try to give them a hug, and then they run away. It never fails. Oh, shit. I was just talking about that movie last night. That's crazy. They've stolen so much from ancient Kemet. Exactly. They tried to flip the meaning as well as Western views that watered down or completely changes what it originally was. Exactly. Wasn't she doing poppers on her Instagram Live? Probably. That woman's evil. I gotta tell you something else too. Why do they all... This is pretty well known, but like, why do they all adopt like poor... poor struggling kids from Africa? Like, you have to ask yourself why that's a trend. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, it's because melanated children with high levels of melanin in their skin, melanin is magic, right? Melanin is magic. So children with high levels of melanin in their skin are more valuable financially, for trafficking, for adrenochrome extraction, for eating. A lot of these people eat children, so obviously not the ones they're adopting, but I know that there's this whistleblower that came out that was literally a part of like Uncle Sam's snuff factory. Like, she was literally held underground for her entire life in this American human trafficking factory, and because her parents were a part of it. So she was like born into it, and she never was murdered because her parents were like higher ups in it, and she was supposed to become a predator. So you'll see it a lot with like celebrities. They will be forced to turn predator, and that's when a lot of them have their mental breakdowns and stuff, because a lot of them were preyed on as children, and then there's a certain point when they try to force you to become a predator, and usually this is when the celebrities start to have their mental breakdowns, because they don't want to repeat the cycles that destroyed them as children, but they are forced into it because, like I said, they have signed contracts that sell away all of their rights, hence selling your soul, because you no longer are following your own compass or your own life path. And so she was saying that her black friends essentially were always eaten, and they would be more expensive, and it's very horrifying. It's very disturbing. But that's why they adopt all these kids from places where nobody's watching out for them, right? Like, I can't imagine that the adoption agencies are, you know, gonna be like thinking negatively of the celebrities, right? They're thinking, oh, these celebrities have everything that they need. Like, oh, this will be great. Like, wow, what a lucky child to go from like being so impoverished to America with like this wonderful person and this and that. That's why they literally collect Black people. It's really fucked up. And also that's why they date so much younger. Like if you look at Madonna's boyfriend, she's like 70 and he was like 18, and I just don't get why like everyone was okay with that. He was also melanated. Like it's really fucked up. The spiral is if you go down the rabbit hole, it's really deep. Basically is what I'm saying. Jesus, this is like a bigger Albert experiment. No, for real. I feel weird. I've seen one of the saddest things, which is seeing parents look at their kids and walk in shame while smiling on camera. What the fuck? It was very odd behavior. Hating them or anything empowers them. They feed off of it. We have to maintain our high vibe. Love you, sister. You are doing the good work and the world needs you right now. Thank you. That's so true. They do eat our hatred, so I should stop feeding them. You are so right. I have encountered demons that were basically just doing their assigned job, but their energy was neutral. That's the thing about daemons. That's how I call them. So demons are like bad energies, like just naturally low vibrational evil energies. Daemons are old souls to me that are just neutral, like heavy neutral energy. They're just very old. But when we think about it, research King Solomon. You'll learn a lot when you research King Solomon. He's where you get the idea of the genie in the bottle, because he was literally taking these old souls that were banished to the four corners of the earth. So when Christianity came through, it banished a lot of old entities out of the public sphere because it was really dominating and an illusion. And so the reality was banished away, right? Like right now, reality has been banished. Lies reign supreme. Evil reigns supreme. Well, soon truth and reality and love will reign supreme. It already is on its way to, but anyway. So they banished the jinn. The jinn is where you get the idea of genie, the jinn, D-J-I-N-N. And jinn get a bad rep, but jinn have been put through the ringer, and they're really powerful, really old spirits, like very old. And so that's where we get the idea of the genie in the bottle, because these spirits were banished from where they dwelled and then sucked up into this bottle and then forced to do the bidding of whoever was able to get their hands on them. And I see that a lot. Even like Zeus, like I didn't work with Zeus for 2 years because I did not trust his energy. He wanted to work with me for so long. And then when I finally was able to like talk to him, because just all the stories you hear about him, like all the mythology, I was like, I have no interest in working with you. And basically he was like, I'm really tired. Like he was like, yeah, I know I've been bad in the past and like I haven't done like good things in the past. He was like, but I'm really, really tired of that lifestyle. I'm really tired of like seeing the world like this, of seeing humanity like this. He was like, I want to take Earth back, basically. He wanted to take Earth back for the humans. And I was like, all right, well, if you any funny business and you're out of here, basically. But I was like, I'll trust you, you know? And I do that with a lot of spirits. If you showed them love, they would just mirror your energy and leave. Yes, about the daemons, literally. Yes, have more energy. Their skin retains the sun better than most because, like you said, it's melanin. Exactly. And what are they always doing? This, the Eye of Ra. I am a daughter of Ra. No, I'm not very melanated. That's just how I came out. But I'm a daughter of Ra. And it's very offensive to me when they use my symbols against me. And, like, Ra is not evil. Not evil like that. Like, Ra wants the world. Ra's also a very neutral energy, but he's a neutral to high. And so it's very upsetting to me. Heru, on the other hand, he's a little crazy, but he's still neutral. He's still like, he can be vengeful. I think Horus, Heru, can be vengeful. But at the same time, I also think that it's almost like when a teenager throws a tantrum. It's like, he's still, at the end of the day, a good spirit, you know? What about the director who dated his stepdaughter? That is, who is that? Who is that guy? He's so creepy. He's like he's a director. I forget his name. And they adopted a little, I think, right? Or, yeah, like he adopted this little girl and then ended up leaving her mom and dating her. Yeah. Woody Allen. And he's just like a gremlin and a half. The history of that is horrific. Some Europeans, when invading Egypt, thought they'd gain special powers from eating the mummies / black people. They treated it like a delicacy. That is so gross. But it's so disrespectful to our dead. They haven't let that place rest for so long. For real. Oops. Sorry, low power mode. Let me get my charger because I haven't even gotten to the reading. We just got into one of those crazy talks about the 4-dimensional shit. All right, where's my charger? That is so messed up, especially because, like, there's so much power in ancient Egypt and ancient Kemet, and, like, if we just used it in the right way, like, none of this would be happening. I'm so tired of it being used against us and being used for evil. It's good to talk about those things. We get more alert with the issues that way. For real. It's true. And also, I have all this knowledge just sitting in my mind and body from when I was doing all the research, and it's like, what's the point of having it if I'm not sharing it, you know? I never really had my DNA tested. I'd love to see if I have any ancestral roots that are from different cultures to my own. I feel really drawn to Egypt, though. That could also be past life stuff, too. A lot of us, like I was saying in the beginning of this, a lot of us were alive during Atlantis, and a lot of us were alive during ancient Kemet. And you don't have to be a human to be alive. Like, are you kidding me? Look at all the hieroglyphs. There's all these space people. Literally, like, all their gods and goddesses are just interdimensionals that came down from space to share knowledge with them. So you don't even have to have been human during ancient Kemet. You could have been an interdimensional. And also, I have a client who, like, was on the ship. So in the Bible, it talks about when, like, the slaves were being liberated, there was, like, this ship. I'm getting chills. There was, like, this ship above the slaves that was smiting down any and all trying to stop them, and people were saying, like, that's God, but it was literally a spaceship. I am covered in chills. It was literally a spaceship that was liberating the slaves, because there's a certain point when there's no longer any consent, and then the interdimensionals can, like, intervene. I have even chills on my legs right now. And I have a client who was watching my live one time, and I was talking about this, and she emailed me and was like, yo, I've had dreams like I was on that ship. She was like, I never knew what it was, and then you explained it, and now I realize what the dreams are. She was on the ship over the slaves, smiting down anything that tried to stop their liberation. The rants before the actual reading are my favorite part. It feels like a safe space. Oh, good. This is good stuff. Wow, to learn about. Good. I've been learning that in the spirit world, there are no morals and no ethics. They don't care on the other side of what's done. They care what's the lesson and what was learned. Yeah, that's crazy. Can you explain to me about the Beyonce and the mudra she uses? Oh, maybe someone else is going to explain that. But Beyonce? I don't even know where to begin with Beyonce. Beyonce is so compromised. Sasha Fierce is the reptilian attachment, I believe, that rules over her fleshy form. And I think that became very obvious when she did her whole Lemonade album, and then she did that whole creepy thing where she was like, I stuffed my menses with the Bible. And she was, like, being, like, reborn, and it was, like, really fucking creepy. Like, I don't know if Beyonce's soul even exists at all. like, anymore. She might just be the reptilian attachment, Sasha Fierce, at this point. But deep down somewhere inside, her soul's probably in there and scared. So, I don't know. I don't keep up with her enough. I just look at her and see it. Like, I feel like I can see it on people. Like, I can see it on people's faces when they're possessed. I can see it on people's faces what interdimensional DNA they have. I just see it because I'm a seer. That's what I do. That's what I've done lifetime after lifetime. I see both physically and spiritually. I honestly like Solange better. She tried standing up to Jay-Z in the elevator for Bae. Nice. Today I meditated and connected to Anpu. Hell yeah, I love Anpu. And he gave me some pretty shocking revelations. He said that knowledge is in the ground. No, oh damn, that makes sense. And I've really been trying to connect to the earth more and like the dirt, and I really want to get buried in the ground for a bit to like ground into Mother Gaia. And also there's a lot of stuff happening underground. There's a lot that happens underground. And listen, they're starting to offer housing underground. If you don't take any advice I've ever given ever, don't go underground. Don't go underground, because all these rich people who rule the world all talk about how they want us dead and how population control is the most important thing to them. And if they tell you to go live underground, I'm telling you, you're not coming back up. Whether that's because they wall you in and let you all murder each other, or because you're just walking into a human trafficking factory and now you're their food. So if they tell you to go underground and you, like I said, you take no advice that I've ever given other than this, don't go underground. Don't go underground. They tried that shit in 2020. They were gearing up to try and start putting people in dumbs. They're literally called dumbs. Like, they think we're dumb. DUMB, deep underground military bases. And they were going to start trying to usher people into the dumbs for COVID. And I remember getting on a live and being like, don't go underground! I'm not screaming and hooting and hollering whenever the next shit hits the fan. Basically, if you're dumb enough to go underground and be like, this is where I live now, then, like, that's on you. I can't save you. No offense. But, like, yeah. Don't go underground. Dude, yes, I've been getting so excited about my new hangout spot in the dirt. Hell yeah. Ooh, being buried in soil sounds yummy, right? Mother Gaia is pissed about that too. Yeah, because imagine on top there's like a war and trafficking, and then imagine inside there's also a war and trafficking, and you get no fucking break. But Elizabeth April has talked about how Mother Gaia's soul is actually in the process of birthing a new soul, and the new soul is going to take over the planet because there's been so, like, Mother Gaia herself right now, the one that we know and love, has been so abused and downtrodden that it's like she's just done. She's over it. So whenever the new earth comes into being, it's like that's when the new soul is going to be fully birthed into the position of being Mother Gaia. And then the current Mother Gaia that we know is finally going to get to rest and be at some peace for a while. That's pretty scary for the underground stuff. Yep. Like those utopian books like Divergent and the other one called Clockworks or something like that, but it's similar to Divergent and Hunger Games. Yep. Exactly. Exactly, guys. Alright. I'm reading this really good book where it mentions how some Tibetan monks used to bury themselves underground and they would die under meditation to reach another form of enlightenment. That's wild. That's like the monks that set themselves on fire. Yeah. All right, let's do the reading. So today, guys, I'm going to post on my community page all the spells. All the links will be there so you can go check it out. I'm going to post pictures of the candles that we're going to be using and everything, and so that'll be good. Yeah. And also, look at my nails. They came out so nice. I'm obsessed. They glow in the dark. And yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. So yeah. Thank you. Say they're gorgeous and sparkly. Thank you. Oh man. Oh fuck, did you hear that? Oh man, my neck. Oh fucking fuck. My neck and my shoulder. Alright. Let's ground ourselves a little bit. Let's take some deep breaths. Benevolent guides, I just ask please that you be with us today, that you shield us and protect us today, that you guide us. I ask please for signs and synchronicities. I say thank you for another day of life and all the good things and challenging things that you bless us with. And I just ask please as well that you move through me and make me a messenger for the divine, nothing more, nothing less. Please let people know exactly what they need to hear for today. And yeah, please, benevolent spirits, guide us with light through the day so that we may remain neutral and high vibrational and focused. And yep, I pray all of this with the purest of hearts and the best of intentions. Amara Ashe Namaste. By the power of three, Samote it be, always works, always a blessing. I literally just tasted Cool Ranch Doritos, so I don't know if somebody's eating those or if that's a synchronicity for somebody, but I tasted them and I don't even have those. Like, I can't eat them because they're not gluten-free, I don't think. Oh yeah, I want to use this deck. I like drank my coffee and then immediately tasted. You were eating it, Shelly? Like right now? What the fuck? No, I literally tasted that. I like drank my coffee and was like, yum. And then I was like, what? Cool Ranch Doritos? And I saw the little like spices on them. I was like, what is that? Because like I can't even eat it because it's not gluten free. That's so funny. What the heck? That's so funny. ... says Shelly. That's funny. That's funny. All right, Spirit, what's the message for today? For myself and those watching. It's so funny. The message is eat Cool Ranch Doritos. Just kidding. All right, so I see here we have the Page of Cups, we have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. So I feel like today, first of all, I feel like there's a lot of like elementals with you. So if you connect to like the fairies or like if you connect to the fairies, the elves, like we have a satyr here, basically anything that's in, hi Yagmer, anything that's in the fifth dimension, especially if you've done the like meditations with us where we go there, there's all sorts of stuff there. There's like unicorns, gnomes, fairies, little mushroom people, dragons, like that's where mermaids, that's where all the mythical creatures really live in the fifth dimension. And so I just feel like the elementals are strongly with you today. And also it would be really good to get out in nature, like I was saying, and connect to Mother Gaia. And while you're connecting to Mother Gaia, you can connect to the elementals that are associated with the nature area that you're in. So every part of the world is going to have different kinds of elementals that reside there. So like the fairies in my fairy garden are going to be different than the fairies like on the other side of the state, you know what I mean? So today you can just connect to Mother Gaia. Actually get out in the sun too if you can. Also today would be a good day to eat really healthy and really clean. And if you do drink tonight, because it is Friday, just make sure that you're like pacing yourself and not kind of going overboard, because I feel like your body won't like that. And then also, yeah, going out on the earth and under the sun is going to really rejuvenate you. And if you can get out to any kind of body of water, like a stream or the ocean or whatever is near you, that's going to be really beneficial to you as well. I learned that humans are able to produce more of the chemicals in their brain that make them happy just by seeing water for 20 minutes. So if you can look at water for 20 minutes, you're going to have more chemicals in your brain to make you happy than if you were not able to look at like a natural source of water, which makes so much sense to me because I always feel like I'm way happier when I'm by the beach, and it's just like so much easier for me to be alive and like accept life as it is when I'm by the beach. I see though that there's a lot of abundance growing around you, and right now it's about having tunnel vision on what's good and not what's bad, because you can see that here with the Six of Swords, it's like she's facing this Ace of Wands here, and so this really is the new beginning. And also it's about expressing yourself but in a healthy way today and opening up. And if you've been having a lot of racing thoughts or tunnel vision around negative situations, or you know, just always thinking about what goes wrong instead of thinking about what goes right, it's about focusing on what's going right and communicating with spirit, like holding gratitude in your heart. And I see that it's like, if you've been feeling really cranky or you've been feeling really down, I see that today you're kind of able to be a lot more neutral and focus on the good instead of like focusing so heavily on the bad. And I see here with the Seven of Swords and the Four of Cups, there's been a lot of spiritual attack around you, but there's also just been like fuckery around you. And it's like you're no longer accepting less than what you're worth. You're no longer feeding into the BS, basically, whether that's with like friends, family, or lovers, or like a job. It could be really anything. But I just see that there's been like, you've been taken advantage of in some way, or there's just been a lot of like lies, deceit, just crappy energy, and it's like you're no longer standing for it, you're no longer going to be a part of it, you're no longer like basically being a vessel for this negativity. You're rejecting it here with the Seven of Swords, and you're also rejecting like that situation getting you down. So like if something bad did happen, or you have this job that's like always taking advantage of you, you're like, you know what, not today, Satan, like you're not going to ruin my day. Or maybe you're like, this job drives you crazy and they're always calling you and you're like, nope, like it's my day off, I'm not doing it. Basically you're setting boundaries. Or maybe it's like a friend that like every time you hang out with them, they're fucking rude and jealous and they say something shitty. Like whatever it is, you're like, not today, like we're not doing that today, I'm not dealing with that. And then here with the High Priestess, the Two of Swords, and the Ten of Swords, it's literally just reiterating that you're blocking out this negative energy. I see as well that your ancestors, as well as past versions of yourself, like past life versions of yourself, are helping you to come into a state of blocking out this bullshit. Also, you could be ghosting someone, or someone could have ghosted you, but I almost feel like this is you ghosting someone's bad behavior or ghosting an old way of thinking. It's leaving it in the past. I also just saw Mario, the Luigi house, like when he's, I think it's Luigi and Mario and they go in the haunted house. I saw that. So some of you might be playing that game. That's fun. And then here with the High Priestess, it's like, okay, so some of you are actually ghosting someone. So you're ghosting someone by going, and I just heard that song that's like, do, re, mi, fa, so fucking done with you, girl. It's like, I'm ghost. Like, that's you. Somebody said or did something and you were like, nope. And so you're ghosting somebody by being more secretive, pulling back, and not even explaining yourself, because you're just not putting up with this Ten of Swords energy anymore. Now, if somebody ghosted you, Spirit's saying, you need to just pull your energy back. Don't chase them. Let them miss you. Did you hear that? That was a really loud car with Spanish music playing. So maybe that's also a synchronicity for you. Because that was Not easy to ignore. Oh, I get it. So your person might be acting really loud too, like posting or trying to get your attention, or like being very loud astrally and trying to get your attention, and you're like, nope, sorry, like nobody's home. You can call and call. I'm literally seeing like back in the day when you'd have a house phone and it like rings and rings and rings and nobody's home, and then it's like the answering machine picks up. It's like you can keep calling but nobody's home because I'm not dealing with this behavior anymore. I'm worth more than whatever it is that's been going on here. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a job. It can be your own behavior. If you're like, you have like negative tendencies, or you have like certain habits that you don't want to have anymore, it's like you're blocking that shit out and you're like, no, we're done here. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. I just always end up getting hurt in the end. So that's very strong, and it's important to kind of move in silence right now, because you need, like, they're showing me that your energy is like really spread out and scattered and like almost like glitching, like when you watch a VHS tape and the image gets split because something is wrong with the VHS tape. That's your energy right now. It's like split. And so you need to move in silence and be very secretive and kind of push all your particles back together, because you're getting really worn out. And it's because like you're finally rejecting this negative energy and you're just like, no more, like we're not doing it anymore. I'm over it. I'm happier without this energy in my life. And then here with the 8 of Wands, there could be some form of communication coming in right now, or it's like you are currently facing and battling your own inner demons, and this leads to like quick movement and a new beginning here with the Ace of Wands and the 8 of Wands. So it's like by you doing the inner work, it propels you into a new timeline, a higher timeline, or it propels you into a new beginning. And it's a positive new beginning. It's a positive new beginning where you're no longer accepting this really shitty energy of the 7 of Swords. Yeah. Wow. All right. Cool. Yeah, right now you really are in, they're showing me someone like in a pod. Like, okay, so like when you plant a seed underground and it's like in this little pod before it bursts through, they're literally showing me someone like a fetus. I guess they're showing me someone like a fetus, like in a womb, in this little pod, like curled up, but they're an adult. And so it's like you really need to protect your peace right now because you're in this hanged man state of energy, like I was saying. And so it's really important to, protect yourself while you're in this in-between, because this is the in-between where you're healing and growing and shifting and changing. And so with the 9 of Wands here, Spirit's saying that it's really important as well with this High Priestess and the 2 of Swords. It's important to block out the negative energy, protect yourself here. You are highly protected. And also, if shit keeps not working out, or like if you can't really be around a lot of people right now, or like just things aren't going how you thought they would, it's literally because you're in such a state of protection that you can't be having all these outside influences affecting you. So perfect example is how I like deleted my Instagram. It's like I didn't delete the whole page, but I deleted the app for now. And it's like, because I can't have all these outside influences like pulling on my energy. I cannot have people in my DMs wanting access to me 24/7. I don't want it. I'm not doing it anymore. I realized I don't enjoy that platform of communication, and I'm no longer interested in partaking in it. And so it's like that. It's like you can't have all these voices and all these energies pulling on you. It's about moving in silence, protecting yourself during this hanged man period, and really blocking out anything that is not in alignment right now. Done with the 5 of Cups. Yeah, and whatever, I feel like you guys have been really focused on the past, or like thinking a lot about just the bad shit that's happened to you, or like you can't get your mind out of like negativity. And Spirit's saying that like today is about really putting that behind you and just being neutral and being in the moment, being in the present, being in the moment, right? And then here with the 5 of Cups, you can see there's a bunch of mermaids on it, and this just further solidifies that the fifth dimensionals are in this realm to help you, and they need permission to help. Like, it'll be easier for them to help if they just have some permission to help you. And so if you're really struggling with letting go of the past, you can call upon the elementals today. So that will help you to move through that energy. This is my Jewish deck. Hi, Sam. My Jewish tarot deck that I had to listen to a fellow witch tell me. She literally, she held me captive for an hour and told me how she wanted me to die because I was not V'd. And then told me I wasn't a real witch because if I'm a real witch, then I harm none. So how can I sit there and say I'm not a real witch when I don't have a right to breathe, because every breath I take, I'm harming her and others because I'm not V'd. But I got a cool deck out of it anyway. I was literally like shaking like this because she wouldn't ring me out. Like, she was just screaming in my face, basically about how I'm like a nuisance to reality and how she hates me and she hates people like me. And I was literally like, just trying to check out. I was so scared. I was shaking. I was like standing up for myself. I was trying not to push her over the edge because I didn't know if she was gonna fucking hurt me. Like, the bitch had a cane though. I could take her if I had to. Is that the one you got the orange Florida water from? Yeah. The bitch who makes really great potions but is certifiably insane and just flat out a mean person. I heard that my crystal woman told me that other people went to see her and she screamed in these teenagers' faces about how they weren't allowed to buy lavender because they didn't understand the magical properties of it and they were going to misuse it. So these like 14-year-olds were like excited about starting their witchy journey, and then this insane old lady who talks like this, by the way. While she was yelling at me to die, she couldn't even look me in the eyes. She was like, are you kidding? Like, you know you're doing something wrong when you literally can't even look at me when you're saying the things you're saying. So she's just like screaming in their face about how they're not allowed to use lavender because it's out of their skill range and they're gonna misuse it. And they literally went into Mary and like cried. I also cried a little bit after she screamed in my face. She's just a bad person. Just a bad egg. But, yeah, she makes great Florida water. And also, like, lavender of all things, like, are you kidding me? Like, lavender is not gonna hurt anybody. Like, if they were like, I want this magic lamp with I want this Dybbuk box with an evil Jewish demon in it, then I understand being like, no, get out of here! But lavender? Like, you're just a gatekeeping bitch. So interesting. Some people are just really protective of their magic, and she's aggressive. Yes. Misuse it? It's lavender, ... for real. All right, so we have the Virgin, Master, Free Will, I am Balance, I am Authority of Energy, and I am Abundance. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles here as well. So I feel like Spirit is saying that it's like you're on such a good track, like you have free will and you're finally starting to steer your free will in the direction of like choosing to look at the best of things instead of the worst of things. I feel like you could have been kind of glass half empty for a bit, which is totally understandable because things have been really heavy and upsetting, and I don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes of the collective, but there's definitely some really nefarious energy that's like pushing through. And so Spirit's saying it's like you're finally coming into that state of equilibrium where you're like, yeah, there's bad stuff that happens every single day, but if I dwell on it, it's just going to be miserable. So it's like, I'm going to focus on the good stuff instead. I'm not going to pretend that like bad stuff doesn't exist, but I'm also not going to let it rule over my thinking all the time. And so Spirit's just acknowledging that, and you're actually a lot more abundant when you do this. So like, the more you focus on good things, the more good things come to you, right? The more good luck you have. And it can be really hard when you get in a rut of being like glass half empty, but it is what it is. Like sometimes we get stuck there. And I was listening to Elizabeth April talk about how her clients from other countries always talk about how Americans a lot of the time will fight depression, and so in other countries, if you're feeling depressed for a few days, I guess you just feel depressed, and like that's it, and you just like move through it, and then you're like over it. Not over it, but like if it's not like a clinical depression, right? Like sometimes we just get depressed, and it's not a clinical depression that needs like medical help. It's just one of those things. And she was saying that like her American clients always fight it and always like don't want to like just fall into it, and they think there's something wrong with it, and they try to push it away and whatever, when in reality, if you just feel it, move through it, then you hold space for it. So then in holding space for it, it's able to subside. And that's how her foreign clients usually deal with it. But I also think that comes from that like hustle mentality of being born an American, and also the like fuck your feelings energy of being born American. So yeah, it's about not being angry at yourself for the times where you can't help but be glass half empty, but also appreciating yourself when you can be glass half full. The art of allowing, powerful, exactly. Europe is depressing, so I get why we don't fight it in Europe. That's sad. Ugh. And then we have I am balance and I am authority of energy. So this is actually bringing a beautiful balance into your energy. And it's if you've been feeling really tired or feeling really like, like I can never get what I need to get done, like, or you've just like haven't been inspired. Like there are days when I just wear my pajamas all day long and it's like I don't want to, but I end up doing it. It's like today it's like you have the energy to like make your bed and put on a cute outfit, or at least like a comfortable outfit, and you know, maybe do the little chores that you've fallen behind on. I see things are turning around in a really positive energy coming out of that glass half empty state. Anything else this deck wants to say? Okay. And then we have I am news and I am authority of reproduction. Can you clarify that? All right, some people are going to find out that you're surprise pregnant. That's insane. All right, how can I interpret this? Okay, I am news, authority of reproduction, authority of surprise. So some of you are going to find out that you're surprise pregnant, or you might be getting surprise pregnant over the next year or something, because it's literally I am news, I am authority of reproduction, and I am authority of surprise. So some of you might be finding that out. Others of you might be finding it out about someone you love, like you find out about a surprise pregnancy. And then also, for some of you too, if you find out that you are pregnant and somebody's been really like flighty with you, it's like this is going to transform their come and go. So they will be there for you in a more supportive way if they haven't been. Or for some of you, there could be someone that's very nervous that you're going to get pregnant with someone else. So they are afraid to hear the news of that happening, and they don't want it to happen. So if they've been very come and go, they want to know what's going on with you, so they're going to stop. That situation's going to transform. And if it's not that they're afraid that you're going to get pregnant with someone else, they're afraid you're going to build with someone else. So like if they think that you found someone that you want to actually create a life with and have kids with and stuff, and they've been super flighty and come and go and whatever, they don't want to be like that anymore. It's going to actually snap them into being more there for you. This is kind of scary. That's really specific and kind of scary. Can you just explain that a little better? I am love. It's all love. Damn. I am separation, I am delusion, love and forgiveness. So Spirit's just reiterating that the separation is only an illusion, and there's a lot of love and forgiveness coming. Now, for some of you, if you were hurt by someone in some way regarding a pregnancy, so let's say you got pregnant by someone and then they abandoned you, or somebody else, got pregnant and it really hurt your feelings, like if you were like seeing someone and then it was like they got someone else pregnant and you were like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like Spirit's just saying that like even though things might not look exactly how you thought they would, and it might have been surprising and a little bit crazy, it was actually to transform a situation that was really off. So they're telling me, for some of you, if somebody got pregnant with someone else, it was like to teach them how to love, because they really didn't know how to love. And it's not that they love the person that they got pregnant with, it's that they love their child. So maybe this person never experienced unconditional love, and so this surprise pregnancy, whether it was with you or someone else, was necessary in order to transform an old pattern and situation of being flighty and detached. And it's all part of a master plan, and that separation is only an illusion, and that this is creating a lot of love and forgiveness. So I know, just for one example, like I have a client who was like with her twin got her pregnant and then abandoned her, and then literally has like never met the child. And so it's like Spirit's just reminding you, and that's a very specific one person example, but this is a really weird, creepy, specific message to get for a daily reading. So Spirit's just saying that it's like separation is an illusion. Love and forgiveness will come from the situation no matter what it is. And it's all part of a master plan, and you have to trust that. And it was all to end a cycle. It was all to create transformation in the situation that you're in. Anything else that deck wants to clarify about that? Completion. You're completing a cycle, and it's already complete. So like, you know, like it's like we're walking our path and we're walking our destiny, and it's pretty much like you can change your contracts, but you still have contracts that you need to complete. This was a contract that you needed to complete, and it was supposed to happen. And then we have the authority of argument at the bottom. So it's like this was to teach you how to move through and have unconditional love despite the like the fuckery. I am magnetism. Okay. And also, magnetism and I am appreciation and happiness. So whatever difficulties you've had, and this doesn't even have to be with you and someone else. This could even be like, maybe you were a surprise pregnancy. Perhaps you were a surprise pregnancy and you felt that from your parents, and it was like you felt unwanted or whatever, and Spirit's just saying like it's all part of the plan. It was all for a bigger reason than you can understand. Basically any of the scenarios I've just laid out, it was all for a bigger plan. It's all for a reason that you can't quite see yet because you don't have the full aerial view, but you magnetize appreciation and happiness the more you focus on it. The more you focus on arguments, the more you magnetize that, okay? Yeah, the bracelets got sent out. Yes. When you gotta fix your email, when you gotta fix your email on my page, because when I send the confirmation email, and then also you never get the emails for the spells and stuff. Okay. Get some advice for today. Whoa, that was crazy. If you could have seen the way that just flew out. Sounds like my ex. He tries to visit me in my dreams for giving to forgive him, but I keep blocking him. Yeah, I knew I was watching more Abraham on YouTube videos for a reason. Just found your channel and I love you already. Thanks, Abby. Nice to have you here. Yeah, so I sent out the bracelets yesterday, so those should be out within the next couple days. Also, I send the shipping confirmation through the email. Where did you get the Florida water? I would like to buy some. Oh, girl. Girl, don't make me go back to the mean lady. If you want, I'll go there. I'll get it for you. And I'll put it in a container that I can ship it in. But, ooh, I need to bring a friend because she's so mean. She's so mean. But it's fucking kick-ass Florida water, my dude. It is kick-ass Florida water. I'll get it after I finish this. These cards are flying out. Ooh, I just got like dizzy and lightheaded. I just got hot. I'm hot. I'm hot. Okay. I have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Pleiades, double mission and channeling and uplifting humanity. So this goes with like what we were saying about going through the astral realms. And, you know, being on these missions and saving these souls and stuff while we're asleep. But also this is saying too, with the whole pregnancy thing and the idea of like whatever surprise or issue came around reproduction, and it doesn't even have to be pregnancy. So like, I mean, that's a very specific the way it said it, but like maybe you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with someone, you were head over heels in love with them, and then they ended up cheating on you. And so it's like, then it was like your ideas of like reproduction as in reproducing and becoming a family and setting, you know, creating a life with this person were completely dashed. And it's like Spirit's just saying that it's like all in love and it's all for a higher purpose and a higher plan. And it's just reiterating that with the Pleiades double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Like that's what this is about. It's like about unity. It's about bringing people together. It was never personal and it was always a part of your contract. So accepting that is going to be really beneficial. And then answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? It's like, first of all, somebody might be calling you to have a conversation with you, but also like your soul is being called to forgive. Your soul is being called to focus on yourself. And also Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? Also, some of you might not even be getting surprise pregnant anytime soon. It might be like you meet your person, you fall in love, and then you end up getting surprise pregnant in the next 3 years, you know? Timelines and everything are always hard to keep track of, but either way, how can you mother yourself right now? To deal with whatever difficult situation that you experienced around some sort of separation, the illusion of separation. And then with the Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Spirit's just saying it. They're like, dude, like, if anyone could handle this situation, it's you. You've been training for this for a long time. Please don't give up and please recognize your power. And then we have Archangel of Good Vibrations. So it's about staying positive today, believing that there's a beautiful future ahead for you, trusting that Spirit has something really beautiful waiting for you ahead. Ooh, and threesome. Dude, this is crazy. Wow. So threesome is about inviting Spirit into your sexual encounters. So it's not necessarily about having a physical threesome. It's about you, your person, and God, basically being in bed together. And so I feel like if you do have this surprise pregnancy, it really is meant to be. It's source energy, but also there is source energy connected to your sexual relationships right now. And if you can find a way to make magic and tantra and spiritual connection into your sexual encounters, whether it's with yourself or others, like if you're masturbating or you're actually out doing it, that's going to be really beneficial to you right now. And it's going to help you keep a good vibration and a high vibration. And it's going to help you to stay positive about the future. And Spirit just needs you to be positive about the future, because whenever you do find that person that you do want to build with, whether it's a family or it's just like the family of you two and you don't want kids, but you want a life partner, it's going to be very, very divine. And then we have Archangel Gabriel as well here. Someone could be calling you. Damn, there could be like a call me spell that you did, or it could be a kickback from past call me spells, because I haven't done one in a while. But I see that you're gonna get some sort of call, and things are about to get really beautiful energetically and sexually with someone that is good for you. Wake up. So this also is about it's about respecting your body. And, okay, things are about to get messy. All right, so the 3 wishes is at the bottom again. Remember we did our 3 wish ritual, so that for my birthday, for June 21st, we were going to have 3 things that we gave to Spirit that we were like, here, take care of this. And the 3 things are about to come into fruition by the time June 21st hits, but it might get a little messy. So just like spread out, let it be messy, and please listen to your body. And also, guys, I would suggest not drinking too much, because remember I did get this card with the wine on it, and if we drink too much, it can lower our immune system, and especially if we're going through DNA upgrades, then it can be really hard on our body. So I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you to my guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, star family, higher self, Yeshua, Baal, Ra, and God Source for allowing me to be the channel through which these messages flow. We thank you for the truth and we thank you for the advice. Amora, Shea Namaste, by the power of 3, so mote it be, always works, always a blessing. That was crazy! What the fuck? That was so weird and specific. That was crazy. I have to listen to that back because that was really crazy. Super resonating. Thank you, Nikki. Love you. You're welcome. Glad it resonated. I was about to drink wine. I'm getting called out today. The Doritos too. For real. That's so funny. What the heck? That's funny. $12:38. Hi, Dutchie. I know you deleted Instagram, and for good reason. I'm not far behind from deleting my account altogether. However, if and when you decide to shock us all by re-downloading Instagram, yeah, I probably will. I mean, I am an addict, but to social media, but I don't know. I probably will. I even, like, last night when I was with my sister and her fiance, they were, like, playing all this music, and I was like, oh, I'm inspired. I want to do a dance and post it. And then I was like, oh, no, I can't, because I'm not on. I think I was just feeling really drained from it, and I just needed a break. Thank you, Whitney. I appreciate it. I sent you a lot of content from this one creator who would really love your thoughts and opinions on the content if you decide to re-download it. Okay. Dorito girl. Oh, all right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you. I got to get on with my life for the day. And, yeah, gonna get dressed, put my hair back because it's driving me insane. Really need to wash it tonight. Need to brush it and wash it. I'm going to wash it with my soap that I make. I'm going to make a bunch of soap today. I'm going to make face soap. I'm going to make shampoo and stuff. Excuse me. And that's going to be fun. I might start some potions. I got the same Frankenstein girl behind you. Really? I made her. I made this. I made a couple. They're in my shop. But this one's mine. She kind of looks like me, I think. But yeah, you can get them in my shop if you want. They're actually interactive, so you can, like, squish the art. It's pretty cool. I was planning on going on there to get some. Thank you for getting it for me. I'll email you about it. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds great. And then I'll just force my friend to go with me. And then if she bullies us, then there's power in numbers. Girl, I would not suggest driving all the way from New York down here just to go and have that woman yell at you. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. All right, guys. Oh, thank you. Saying mine's way cooler. Thanks. All right, I love you guys. I hope this helped. I'm going to listen back to it now because I think it was intense. So, yeah, I love you, and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye-bye.